Hey guys, nWo here, and it is Friday, and I thought it'd be fun to do a video game review for the video game review section of the YouTube channel, and today we'll be looking at WCW nWo Revenge for the Nintendo 64. The third in the legendary trilogy of WCW wrestling games made by Aki and Asmik. The first being WCW vs. the World for the PlayStation, the second being WCW vs. nWo World Tour for the N64, and the final being WCW nWo Revenge for the Nintendo 64. At this point in time, WCW was in full swing at the absolute height of their popularity in the world. They were the number one wrestling company in the world. WWF had regained their footing and were gaining a lot of ground on WCW, but at this point, WCW was still the place to be and place to watch if you were a pro wrestling fan, at least in my opinion. However, it would really be, in another couple of years, WCW would have a lot of creative and political problems that would ultimately lead to their decline, which is very sad, at least in my opinion. I've been listening to a lot of Eric Bischoff's 83 Weeks podcast, co-hosted with Conrad Thompson, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is because Eric Bischoff was very happy that he had landed a deal with Electronic Arts to produce WCW video games, and I thought to myself, Eric, that's kind of a bad move because the Aki Asmik wrestling games that might not have been as high profile a company as Electronic Arts were really much better than the Electronic Arts WCW games, which were not bad, at least in the case of WCW Mayhem. WCW Backstage Assault was not a good game, but this game in particular here is arguably the best game on the Nintendo 64. I don't like this game quite as much in terms of music as its older brothers, but nevertheless, this is a great game. And the cool thing about this game is you get this little opening here, which goes on for over a minute, which basically sets the stage of what's happening, the world of this video game here, and you see Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash leading rival factions of the nWo against each other, and Sting's decision ultimately to join the nWo Wolfpack, led by Kevin Nash, to fight his hated mortal enemy, the evil Hollywood Hulk Hogan. At this point in time, too, Bret Hitman Hart had come to WCW, and it seemed like the sky was the limit in terms of creative choices and directions for WCW and the nWo. So this was the world in which this was taking place here. Another interesting thing about this video game, and I'll show you guys this, is the costume edit tool, because at this point in time, wrestling is like a soap opera, and so many wrestlers were switching back and forth between who was on whose team, who was in nWo Hollywood, who was in nWo Wolfpack, who was in WCW, and because of that, this game has a costume edit mode, which allows you to update costumes for the characters. So if Mr. Perfect is in nWo Wolfpack one week, and then nWo Hollywood the next, you can change his clothes to match where he's supposed to be. And ultimately, spoiler alert if you guys didn't know, Hulk Hogan eventually joins nWo Wolfpack, therefore reuniting the two nWos. So I actually have a Wolfpack Hulk on this game as well. This is also taking place during the height of WCW's roster. Absolutely the best roster I think pro wrestling has ever seen. You have Chris Jericho in the mid-card. You have Ultimo Dragon in the mid-card. Tragic figures like Chris Benoit in the mid-card. And then at the top of the card, you got like Sting, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, all those great guys. So Macho Man, Randy Savage. So yeah, here's the opening to this game here. It's fantastic. I want to just kind of let this play. Aesthetically speaking, this game was amazing. It looked very good at the time it was out, and I think the style holds up in my opinion. That combination of cartoony and realistic polygon 3D artwork for the characters, I'm a big fan of it. Here's Wolfpack Sting. He has now decided to join the Black and the Red. And he's filled with anger and torment, as usually that's what Sting tended to be filled with at this time, since the nWo got fans to turn on him with the fake Sting, who is a playable character in WCW nWo World Tour for the Nintendo 64, the prequel to this game here. Sadly, Fake Sting is not in this game. Although at that point in time, this point in this game, Fake Sting was in NWO Japan with Masahiro Chono and Great Muta. So he was really cool over there. Okay, so let's take a look at this game here. We've got Championship, Exhibition, Special Match, Costume Change, and Option. Your Championship, you can basically go win different belts. I made an NWO Sting myself here. So NWO Sting has the U.S. Heavyweight belt. This is just Sting in an NWO shirt. Cruiserweight, I got Disco Inferno. Tag team, I've got the Outsiders. And Heavyweight, I've got Hollywood Hogan. And TV, I've got Bret Hart. And, it's ironic that Bret Hart is the TV champ here, and it shows just how stacked WCW's roster is. Creatively speaking, I would have put if I was writing WCW, I would have put the heavyweight title on Bret Hart at this point in time, but Hulk Hogan is my favorite wrestler, so he's the heavyweight champ in my game here. Exhibition match is what I normally play, just do one-on-one or tag matches. Special match, you get to do things like Battle Royal, which is really fun. Costume change, I'll show you, and options is just your typical options. Let's do an exhibition match, I'll show you a singles match. And you can choose between different arenas here, like Nitro, NWO sold out. Actually, NWO sold out in 97. I think it's the most underrated pay-per-view. I really like the aesthetic of that pay-per-view. And the NWO ring from that pay-per-view is in WCW versus NWO World Tour on N64. You got Super Brawl, Bash at the Beach, Halloween Havoc, and Starrcade. Let's do Nitro. We'll do a one-player game. And here we see our roster here, and here's Hollywood Hogan, and if I can toggle through his costumes here's Wolfpack Hulk. You can zoom in on the characters, rotate the character. Here's Thunder in Paradise Hulk. This is how Hulk looked on his very cool syndicated TV show from the producers of Baywatch, Thunder in Paradise. There's the traditional Hulk Hogan. And now we're back to the evil Hollywood Hogan. We got the Giant. Toggle through. You can change their names. I gave him this one named Big Country from the 80s rock band. We've got the Big Show from when he jumps to WWF. And the Giant. And there we go. And you can just kind of go through and make all kinds of fun costumes for the characters here. So I've got, Scott Hall in street clothes, Scott Hall and, like, Razor Ramon. This is just a great video game here. I toggle through here. You can go to NWO Wolfpack. You can give Lex Luger his American Hero clothes. It's just great stuff here. Wolfpack Sting, TNA Sting, WCW Surfer Sting, NWO Sting, and Wolfpack Sting. And we got Raven's Flock. The regular WCW roster here, Roddy Piper, DDP, Goldberg. This is the thing. Bret Hart, man, he's like right in the middle of all this. It's almost like he's lost in the shuffle. Bret Hart, I would have put right at the top of WCW. More WCW guys. Some Japanese characters. I always like to make Larry Zbyszko like M. Bison from Street Fighter, like Baron Zbyszko. So it was just an inside joke me and my friend had. That's the thing with this video game. You can have all kinds of like make your own stories, and just change characters' names here. Ultimo Dragon, Chavo Guerrero, Das Wunderkind, Alex Wright. I made an Eric Matthews from Boy Meets World here. So, Richie Cunningham from Happy Days? No, I don't know. So you can just have a lot of fun with this game here. More New Japan wrestling guys here. So let's go. I'm going to show you guys the costume mode here. I'll choose Bret Hart. If you hit start, you can go and mess with his clothes here and his name. And, you put him in just different characters' clothes. You can put him in, whatever you want. Say Bret Hart wants to be Lex Luger. Okay, you can put him in Lex Luger clothes. Bret Hart wants to be Surfer Sting. You can put him in Surfer Sting clothes here. The creative players got so insane with the WWF Aki Osmic games that I think they just got too detailed, and the wrestling game lost its spontaneity. And I started to spend more time making wrestlers than actually playing the game. But with this game here, it's really easy. It's quick. You just choose what clothes you want Bret Hart to wear. So Bret Hart joins the NWO, which he did, or he led NWO 2000. Put Bret Hart in some NWO clothes here. So, and you can just hit B to get out of that. In fact, they do have nWo Bret Hart, different, his more like pink and white version of his outfit here, and the nWo 2000 Bret I've got too. Let's do the match that really should have been a big deal. We'll do Bret Hart, and we'll have him fight my favorite wrestler of all time, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and we'll have this match take place on a Nitro, which is actually where this match actually took place. It should have. I love the Hulk Hogan Bret Hart Nitro match, but that match should have been a prequel to a bigger pay-per-view steel cage match. This game, again, fantastic, but the music, I think, sounds kind of generic compared to its predecessors, which had really beautiful synthesized music that was kind of reminiscent of something like a, J-pop or Japanese anime. So we'll skip Hulk Hogan's entrance, and we'll just get right down to the match here. And basically, we see Eric Bischoff is managing Hulk Hogan on the outside of the ring. And this has basically got a grapple system here. You use the D-pad, you use the A button to grapple, and you hold different directions down when you grapple. And depending on how long you hold down your grapple, you hold down the A button, your grapple will have different amounts of strength. Different directions you hit during the grapple will cause you to do different things. It's a really easy system to pick up. Your B button is your punch. Don't overuse your moves, because then the computer will get wise to it. And you have your spirit meter in the bottom, which will, when that starts blinking special, if you hold the analog down, you can execute your finish move. Very, very fun game. My friend and I used to swap the audio cable out of the back of his TV and play 80s music during the matches. It was a lot of fun. And we got Pee Wee Reese over there. Wow, Hulk already gave up? Okay, good deal, Hitman. Well, you got your revenge for Hulk not dropping the belt to you in WWF. It was quick. Okay, well, let's do one more match. We got a lot of time here. A thing about this game, which I like, but it's not something I necessarily prefer to the previous games. The previous games, they drew on the wrestlers' faces. In this game, they actually use pictures of the wrestlers' faces to put on the character models. So, I don't know, take that for whatever it's worth here. So we'll quit. Let's do another, I'll show you guys a tag match here. We might not do the whole thing. Let's do Bash at the Beach. I might not put the whole match on this video here just for time's sake, but let's do Wolfpack Hulk, and his partner will be Wolfpack Macho Man. And we'll have them fight, let's see, let's do Bret Hart and Surfer Sting. And we'll skip the openings here just for time's sake here. And let's get down to it here. We got a tornado tag situation starting here. Eventually, these guys will leave the ring, I think, unless I set this to tornado rules, which I may very well have. Axe Boomer! If you hit the analog button, you do your taunt. You see Hulk doing that right there. No, Hulk and Macho Man were not in the Wolfpack at the same time, but whatever. You make your own wrestling story here. Another thing I like about this game. Do the Axe Bomber again. Oh no, he countered it! So I'm Hulk fighting Bret here, and Surfer Sting and Macho are fighting. If I get outside the ring here, I can actually grab weapons and bring them in the ring. Another cool feature of this game here. And I can start messing with my other opponent here if I want to help out my friend. This game is great to play by yourself, but it's also really fun to play with friends. So, but if you're watching this video, you probably already know that. Hitting the C button here will cause me to, the different C directions will cause me to look at a different opponent. If I hit the up button on C, I can get out of the ring and go over to the guardrail, grab a weapon, and bring this in the ring here. because Hollywood Hogan is a bad guy. He has no problem. Oops, I hit Macho Man. Well, that's going to cause the Mega Powers to break up again, or the Monster Maniacs, as they were known in WCW. Anyway, Hulk Hogan's a bad guy, so he gets like stuff out of the crowd like every time because he cheats all the time. When a good guy tries to cheat, it's harder to get weapons out of the crowd. And I did just bloody Bret Hart right there. You can turn that off if you're so inclined. Now, the weird thing about this game is that at this point in time, Ric Flair... No! I'm trying to use my special. Ric Flair was not in WCW. So, turn around, Hulk. Come on. Ric Flair was not in WCW at this time. So, Hulk Hogan has Ric Flair's, like, super move here, I guess you could say. Which I thought was kind of odd. Hulk Hogan never uses the running leg drop in these games. He uses the Axe Bomber, which is his Japanese finish move, and then just a regular leg drop. I mean, you can do a running leg drop. It's not that hard to do, but... Hulk's kind of slow to get up here. Come here, Sting. There's Hulk's leg drop. No, it's an elbow drop holder right there. Ooh, yeah! So, you kind of get it here. This is WCW nWo Revenge. I'll show you guys the Battle Royal real quick. We won't do a whole thing, but I'll just show you a real quick thing of the Battle Royal here. We'll make this at Starrcade. 40 wrestlers, random order, and I'll just be Hollywood Hogan. And Giant, and Scott Hall, and... Oh, wait. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so skip this. And so we start out with the 4 in the ring, and as you throw people out of the ring, you know, wrestlers will just start to come in. So we got the nWo starting to fight here. I wish nWo just got its own show at a certain point, which I guess was the plan. I don't know why they never did that. Because, like, nWo guys fought each other before, so... Scott Steiner. Music to this is pretty good here. I usually think the music sounds a little generic on this game. Alright, Hulk Hogan and Scott Steiner fighting. I met Scott Steiner. He signed my WCW Nitro for PlayStation. I should do a review of that sometime. He's out. He's coming in. Wolfpack Sting! From the rafters he descends. And Hulk is going right after his mortal enemy, Sting. Now he's fighting Scott Hall, who, in the nWo division here, Macho joined Wolfpack, and then Hall joined Hollywood, so it's kind of weird. The sidekicks to the leaders traded places. Billy Kidman. All right, Hulk's got to run away from him, because Vince Russo might make him lose to him, so I'm just going to get out of the ring right here and, you know, watch this from the outside. I'm just kidding. Okay, so guys, that's the review here. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, there it is, WCW nWo Revenge, an excellent game for the Nintendo 64. Till next time, guys, my name is Noel. You take care of yourselves. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.